On October 18th in New York City, the Nintendo Entertainment System launched for the first time in the United States. Although Super Mario Bros. And its progeny would later become the most beloved games in the Nintendo Entertainment System library, Super Mario Bros. Didn't actually release on launch day with an S. That's not to say Mario wasn't present in the launch of the system in the United States. Mario was the protagonist of a lesser-known game called Wrecking Crew. The game was designed by Yoshio Sakamoto, who would later go on to work on great games such as Metroid, Kid Icarus, Super Metroid, and most recently he's credited with supervising Nintendo's much-anticipated Splatoon. The player assumes the control of Mario in this arcade-style game, and instantly you will notice he looks a little funny. He's wielding a giant hammer, and his hat looks like a helmet. Apparently before Mario got into plumbing, he was smashing down buildings and avoiding eggplant men. He also doesn't seem to be capable of jumping, which the manual explains is a result of the weight of the hammer. The objective here is to smash down walls using whatever means possible. Once the game begins, you'll start with 5 lives. You can only lose these lives by coming in contact with an enemy or by getting hit by a fireball. After you use up the 5 lives, you'll get a game over. It's also fairly easy to trap yourself on a floor with no way to exit. In this instance, you must quit the game and start over. Wrecking Crew also has a level select option, so you can skip around levels. Level 100 is no joke. One of the other characters that makes an appearance in this game is a foreman named Spike. He'll chase Mario in some of the levels of the game and attempt to disrupt your progress. There's a popular fan theory that Spike is in fact an early version of Wario. Though there is no picture of him in the manual, he has the same appearance as the Mario Brothers, with the addition of a hooked nose, sunglasses, and he also displays a mouth full of messed up teeth whenever he gets hurt, which is somewhat reminiscent of Wario. Wrecking Crew isn't nearly as well known as the other games in the Mario family, but that doesn't mean it isn't a great game. It's actually quite enjoyable. The graphics are pretty good for its time, and Mario's sprite might even be more intricate than the sprite for Mario in Super Mario World 1. The sound is good, and it's got the arcade feel to it, but it does get quite repetitive over time. The game also has a level editor feature, which is a pretty cool option for its time, considering we're just getting Mario Maker now, 30 years later. It also has a 2-player option, so one person can play as Mario and the other person can play as Luigi. While not exactly considered a classic on the NES, this game is worth playing through at least once, and it's definitely a worthwhile addition to any collection. Hey everyone, thanks for taking the time to watch this video. And if you liked what you saw, you can subscribe to me on YouTube or you can follow me on Twitter. I also want to say thanks to all my friends over at underratedretro.com, and I also want to give a quick shout out to our new partners, the NES Dudes, who have a great podcast you can listen to over at NESDudes.com. Thanks everyone.